Yield no time. Sovereign man treats time as his most valuable, non-renewable asset. You need to confront what you're doing with the hours that you have left. Not someday, but this morning, tomorrow morning, every morning.
So there seems to be a little bit of pressure about managing my time, right? I got to figure out how I'm going to do that. You know, I'm sure other people have done it, right? Other people have figured out whatever that key is to managing their time, right?
Well, everybody's heard this. Look, so one of the most famous things around this topic is Steve Jobs and his famous Stanford commencement speech that he made in 2005. And the biggest line that came out of that was, remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool that I've ever encountered to help make the big choices in life. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's impactful. That's impactful, right?
It's impactful. Okay.
Yes,
but as impactful as it is, you heard it, you nodded,
right.
You agreed.
Yep.
You might even have shared it with somebody. And then you went back to your same calendar and the same meetings and the same drift that you've always had, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where element one of our sovereign's code is coming from. It's yield no time. It becomes the difference between hearing a speech and living a life. That's it. You know, sovereign man treats time as his most valuable, non-renewable asset. So allocating it with ruthless intent only to that which serves his higher purpose, his highest purpose. That's it, right? So
non-renewable asset. Got it. Yep.
Non-renewable assets, and Steve Jobs, he didn't have a creed. He had a diagnosis, but you don't need a diagnosis to operate with the same clarity. You need to make a decision. You need to have a daily practice that forces you to confront what you're doing with the hours that you have left. Not someday, but this morning, tomorrow morning, every morning.
So creating a sense of urgency, I guess, within oneself and managing all those things that are happening around you. I guess if you're like Steve Jobs, you're saying, hey, I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do that, but I am going to concentrate on this and I am going to concentrate on that, which to me seems to be the toughest part of what you're describing, right? I mean, our entire lives have been work. And then when you get to retirement, boop, you're going to take it easy, right? So we're talking about reprogramming, basically, right? We have to reprogram almost.
I guess we haven't really used the word reprogramming, but yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening with our entire lives on a number of different levels.
So we've talked about this. So if yield no time is the foundation of building your sovereignty, right? Give me a little bit more on how yield no time is my sovereign solution there.
Oh, it's everything. Taking back time, taking back your own time, making your own decisions, deciding what it is that you will do and won't do. And I know everybody's going to say, I have a boss. I can't just say what I'm going to do. Yes, that's true. But how much time do you spend in the pursuit of your job that has absolutely nothing to with getting done what needs to get done? And if all you did was concentrate on what needed to get done, then all that other crap would go by the wayside and you'd have a lot more time on your hands. You spend less time around the water cooler in the lunchroom or talking about fishing last weekend or can't wait for the next weekend. Just go to work. But, that's really what this is about, is owning your calendar, owning your time. And that's the key at this day and age to, the time's going to get compressed. Technology is going to happen that we can't stop. All of this stuff is happening, but none of it takes away from your ability to be the sovereign commander of your life and live your time, yield none of it.
So we've been talking about Second Half Man for almost 2 years now, right? And I remember when you were writing your book and you had started the Sovereign's Code, and you said, "Hey, element one is going to be a yield no time." And you said you got to learn how to take command of all your time. And I said, "Oh, I ain't worried. I command all my time." and
Yeah, you do.
you said,
Yeah, you
"Okay,
do.
what'd you do this week? Tell me what you did." And I said, I did this for this person, and I did this for this person, and I did this for my office, and I did this for my folks, and then I had to run back over here to do this for." And I told you, gave you the whole laundry list of things that I accomplished that were on my list. And you say, "Well, how many of those did you do for yourself, or how many of those did you do because it was something that you felt that needed to be accomplished?" And I was like, "Okay, so I don't own any of my time. Everybody else owns my time," right?
I think more importantly, if I can remember that conversation, and you did say those are all the things that you did.
Yep.
And I asked you, well, how many of all those things that you did were on your Monday morning list already?
Yeah. None of those things were on my Monday morning list.
Exactly.
Yeah, those are just other things that popped up that I had to do, right?
That's the whole point.
That I had to take care of.
Exactly.
All right. So, time is of the essence.
Time is of the essence.
All right. And
none of it.
And in an effort to help the guys that have subscribed or guys that are watching the show, hopefully with some frequency, give us, you're really good at giving us that one move we can make every week. Have you got anything for us that we can take a look at this week?
Yeah. And this one's called my 601 exercise.
I appreciate you giving me credit. Go ahead.
No problem. So starting tomorrow, right? Starting tomorrow. To carry around with you a little small pocket notebook.
Okay.
Right? Or open a note on your phone if you're that kind of, you don't want to carry a little notebook around. And then every day for the next 5 days, I want you to write down where your hours actually went, right? So 9 o'clock, tell me what happened between 8 and 9. And if that was, I ate 3 donuts and drank 2 cups of coffee and talked to Billy Bob about how my weekend went, write it down. Every single hour to every single night, you have a list of everything you did and just review it. Do that every single day for the next 5 days, right?
Okay. Yep.
Mark down everything, where your hours went, not where you planned them to go, not where you wanted them to go, not what was scheduled but didn't get done, just what you actually did, right?
Try to make them detailed. Should I make them detailed?
You need to be specific.
Summary?
Be specific. Right. So the 2 hours in a meeting that could have been an email, or the 45 minutes scrolling news that didn't change a damn thing about your day, write it all down and be specific about it. So when you look at it, you'll know what the heck you're looking at, and write it all down. No, without judgment. No, there's no judgment here, right? Because we all do it. So don't say, "I'm not gonna write this in my book. Somebody's gonna see it." Just write it down, right?
Just for me. It's just for me. It's just for me.
It's just for you. Because at the end of the 5 days,
I was going to say, here comes the judgment. Here comes the judgment.
Judge yourself. At the end of the 5 days, read it back, right? The gap between where you thought your time was going and where it actually went, where that time it was you yielded, that gap's, not a failure. It's the map. It shows you exactly where your sovereignty leaks, right? Shows you exactly why your 5 things didn't get done that week. And if you can avoid, stop, end, quit, all of those leaks, those 5 things are going to get done in a whole lot less time than you thought was going to take in the first place. That's it. And there's one more thing I want you to do. I want you to take the time today and download the Teotes Creed, right? Teotes Creed is really the very first thing I wrote when I was writing the second half manifesto. And that Teotes Creed talks about how you yield no time and what areas of your life you need to really concentrate on. You download that creed, put it somewhere where you can see it every morning. It's a 1 minute read. Read that, read it out loud in the morning. Look at it and start your day off right, and put yourself in a mindset and a frame of mind that's going to help you yield no time. That's it.
Tiote's creed. Tiote, time is of the essence, right?
Tiote, time is of the
Acronym,
essence. That's right.
Time of the essence.
And
All
you
right.
need to become a Tiote warrior, but that's right.
Yeah, I definitely need to become a Tiote warrior. Okay.
Exactly.
So yield no time, right? Don't forget the 5-day time audit. I'm sure that's probably going to open most of our eyes to see if we're actually putting all our time to very good use. This is the Second Half Man Show, right? I'm 601. I'm here with the founder, Russ Borden, right?
Borden, yeah.
Russ Borden. Russ, any last thoughts? One last thing?
One last thing. Yeah, one truth, right?
One truth. Yep.
The speech didn't change your life because the speech can't. A daily practice can. The question is whether you build one before the window you're watching closes. Do it this week.
All right. Again, this is the Second Half Man Show. I'm 601. Again, I'm here with Russ Borden, the founder. I'll make sure that you tune in every week. We drop a new show on Tuesday. If you liked this week's discussion, please hit that like button. Don't be afraid to subscribe. Russ, what else we got coming? I know there's stuff coming out.
Well, speaking of subscribing, don't be afraid to subscribe to our weekly newsletter, The Dispatch. You can do that at secondhalfman.com/newsletter, secondhalfman.com/newsletter. Get that intelligence in your inbox every Sunday.
Don't forget, also on YouTube, you can go to Second Half Man Show. There's a library of shows there that we've dropped every week since the beginning of the year. We also have some shorts there. We appreciate you guys watching. I'm your host, 601. I'm here with
Russ Borden.
Until next time,
Stay dangerous.